It's been a while since I made a video, and today I'm going to be repairing my relay board that goes to this power tilt and trim unit for this Johnson, this beautiful restored outboard that was done by Tiger Outboards down in Virginia Beach. And recently I noticed that the power tilt and trim intermittently would go up and down, and then if you would shake, kind of just shake or just press the relay board against the block, sometimes it would go in and out. So there's definitely some shorts back there. There's definitely a shorted wire back there where it's all epoxied in the back. Let me show you the original wiring harness. What you're dealing with, if you have an old relay board like this, such as this, he's got the two standard relays over here. They're 40-50 amperes, 40-50 amp a piece relays. But if you look in the back, right here, all this is where the problems come up, because when this gets mounted, it presses like this and just squeezes all this together, and then these connections break inside. You can't see it beyond the epoxy in here, but the connections are semi-broken, and there's probably just a couple little wires, couple conductors that's just making a little bit of connection, little contact there, letting the voltage get through, so the motor goes up and down. So this is going to be the issue, and you know what, it's not worth, I don't think you can even repair this, because trying to dig out all that epoxy and trying to figure out where that broken wire is, it's not worth the time, effort. And plus, you can't buy these new anymore, because this outboard is so old. Because if you have an old Johnson 48, 50 horse, I think there's a 60, 70 horsepower, and even up to a 90, I believe this repair will work for you, because you're going to have a similar type. So what you're going to end up doing is finding a universal power tilt and trim unit, and the one I used was actually just from a jack plate made by Panther. So I actually have it in here right now, so let me take the hood off, take the cowling off, and show you what that looks like. Ooh. She's a little dirty, and she got a little extra wires in it right now, because I was... Okay, let me show you what we got going on so far. So your main switch, so you got your up and down switch right here. That's actually on the outboard. And you got your wiring over here, just 3 bullet connectors right here. And you got your positive here. This is the positive feed right here, and then this got your up and down wires. So you only got 3 wires going back here. So 3 wires here, and then if you have a remote, remote power tilt and trim on your control, like up here, if you have remote controls here, if you have power tilt and trim button here on your throttle, then you're gonna wire in parallel wires. You're gonna wire parallel wires into it, and that's what this is. So coming from the switch here, 3 wires. Come back over here, you got more wires here, because this wire here is gonna go back over to that throttle switch, up and down button there. I think, are you following? Anyway, this is just loosely mounted right now. It's not gonna hurt anything, just sitting there. This is the unit. So this is the new universal relay unit right here by Panther, and it's totally sealed, as you notice. I kind of mount it. The back is just plastic. It's plastic. So, and it's sealed here. If you notice, a lot less wires going on. A lot more simple design. I mean, look at this. Would you rather have that or that madness? Look at how many wires. They overcomplicated this thing. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, I guess they didn't know better back then. Anyway, I think I dropped a leaf in there. What am I doing? Went ahead and got everything kind of mocked up. I wired everything up and just make sure everything works good. They're all butt splice connectors. Looks with the heat shrink. Butt splice connectors with heat shrinks. How I'm connecting everything. I still need to cut down some wires because this stuff is too long. Like this. If you look at this, I got this. So it's actually the whole. Actually, let me go back. Got all this wiring to do. So I got to cut all that out. But anyway, so what you got? The universal, this Panther jack plate unit. So you got 3 wires coming out from the right side here. This would go to your switches. So you got switch 1, which is here at the outboard, wired in parallel, color for color. Switch 2 is going out to your remote controls or any other button that's going to be on your boat. So, and then the other connection is going to be your power leads. You need power. So in this instance, I've got 12 volts live at all times. 12 volts live at all times coming off my starter solenoid. This is my lead right here. And then my ground, my negative, I can ground here. And that works. Or there's another ground right here. But for some reason I notice if I connect to this bullet connector, it doesn't have as much oomph to it. It doesn't seem like it's not as strong going up and down as this ground here. So I think this is actually a better ground. Okay, maybe this wire is too small of a gauge to be a good supply ground for it. That's probably what it is. So this is what the factory was wired up to, and it works, but it just doesn't feel as powerful. So, anywho, see, let me show you. See, if I go ahead and just like connect it here, like temporarily, you can just there, put that on there. So it's got power now. Put the negative on there, it's got power. Give it some juice. Put my battery on to the on position. Nice and smooth. Just like that. Now, I'm going to go and touch this to here. See if I can get that on there. Watch this. It's on there now. Watch you watch. It doesn't work. Ah! Hear that? Listen to the up. Listen to the motor. I don't know if you can hear that. First thing we're going to address is shortening the motor power lead. Look how long this thing is. So let me show you real quick. Going down to the actual motor, which is right there. Motor for the pen tilt. It's actually going to be right here. This is the stock wiring. I'm keeping that in place. It's the way it was. Everything functions. The connectors work. All that good stuff. I went ahead and cut, this is where I originally had it, went ahead and cut that. I'm going to strip this back. I'm going to shorten this lead by a lot, and that's going to help with less resistance on the line, also further improving things. So you have extra 2.5, 3 feet. It's going to make a little bit of difference. Everything helps. Anyway, I'm going to go and route this down where it needs to go, so it comes off the top there. So it comes from here. This is the motor power lead right here. Follow it, goes along. Still, this is braided here, and this is it. So let's go and cut that. Shorten it up, get it cut to length. Oh, and before you start working on this, if you have any live power on anything, go ahead and shut that off. About to make a big mistake. Is it a big mistake? It's only 12 volts. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn that off. Bam. Alright, my lead's right here. This can go and chill here and do a tiny little loop. So I got it fed all the way down. Yeah, this is chilling out here and get a nice little loop. Right here. Whoops. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Uh-oh, whoops. Whoopsie. Cut off about 1/2 inch for now. Now we're gonna cut off this old butt splice connector. Again, another 1/2 inch on this side. Okay. Those are ready. Those are ready. Got the wires cut. They're both stripped back 1/2 inch. What I'm using are these heat shrink wire butt connectors right here. They've been working out pretty well. They give you a good crimp on the wire, and then you can just use a lighter or your heat gun, and you can heat shrink the ends. So right now I just have a lighter out here, so that's what I'm gonna use. Okay, let's keep moving. When you're doing your butt splice connections, make sure you got the ones that fit. You can get some that are too big, like this one. It's best just to, if you don't know the gauge, like on this wire, it's not marked anywhere. If you're not good at guessing, just go ahead and place it in there. If it's way too loose, then go with the step down to something a little smaller. The next thing would be the blue. The blue is a step down as far as in the size and diameter of the wire. That's for 16 to 14 gauge. Let's go and test fit that. Go ahead and spin it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It's tight. Yep. That's it right there. That's the gauge. It's nice and snug. I'm just going to crimp that down. So he's got to cut them down, get them in there, just like that. And these things are delicious, by the way. Oh, good. They're real good. I'm gonna cut those a 1/4 inch. All we need are 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one side on. That's good. Now back to the motor lead. Over here. Remember we said red. Your positive's going to be blue. Let me cut these down. Do the positive lead, which is the blue to the red. Nice. Oh. You want to get a good crimp on there. Make sure you use your strong hand. Use your strong hand. Gotta use your strong hand. Okay. So got those connections made right there. We're good to go. Good to go. All right, what else we got going on here? Oh, we got this. What is this? We trace this back. What is this? This is the parallel wires going into the switch. So these wires will go and control so these wires are the parallel wires from the switch down here. See that? And it's going to route all the way around like so. It's going to route over here like so, along with the original harness like so, right there like so, and go all the way around like so. And then this is the connector for the throttle switch. We're going to connect that now. We're going to use the old harness, cut that off, and splice it into here. Be right back. Okay. Well, I was butt splicing this all up. I had everything butt spliced up and ran into an issue. The up and down was reversed, so that means these wires here, which are coming from the remote, that's going to be the blue and the green. Blue and green was reversed, so I went and cut those, and I'm going to flip them. Instead of being green to green, I'm going blue to green, and you know, swapping those. And then it should work. You push the up, it goes up, push down, it goes down. Remember, these are for the throttle remote button. All right, let's go do that. And I ran out of these nice butt splices, these heat shrink ones. So what I'm going to use is the bullet ones. I got the bullet heat shrink style. So we're going to do that. It'll work just fine. So this is it right here. Oh, it's a tight connection. Ooh, these bullet connectors are actually really nice. Got these off of Amazon. They just butt splice one end, next end, other end, boom. Just gonna do that. Okay, I'm about to make my last connection here. Wow, nice and tight. And then let's test it. So, get the ground back on. We haven't done the ground yet, but it's kind of a temporary thing. All right, let's go test it. So we're gonna hop up here. Up. The down button. Works. It works like it should. Oh yeah. We're almost there. Now, all you gotta do is tie in the ground and then get everything zip tied for the main harness that goes over the motor, and we're done. And we're done. Okay, so basically the last thing to do is I'm going to use electrical tape and just tie up my bullet connectors and make sure they can't come apart because of all the motor vibration that's back here when it's running. I'm going to zip tie the main harness over here. Zip tie, let me show you once more. I'm going to zip tie all this nice and neatly in here. And I'm just going to connect this ground to here. And then we're done. I think I'm just going to tape this extra ground. I'm going to tape that one off. Because I'd rather not use that. I think the gauge is too small. That's why it's not working as good when you connect to this ground opposed to the main motor ground. The main motor ground right here. Like so. Oh, another quick tidbit. How I'm going to cap this off. This ground I'm not going to use because I'm using this one here. It's going to go on this bolt right here. Engine bolt. Anyway, all I'm going to do is use a piece of heat shrink. Get a piece of heat shrink that fits. Just slide her over. Let it overlap some. Come on down. That. You feel where the bullet connector is in there. Just measure up about an inch or so. Cut that off. Old trusty lighter. Here we go. Let's shrink that on. Right, it's nice and hot. Just squeeze that. Wet your fingers. Squeeze it together while it's hot. And now you have a sealed connection. Just like that. There you go. No tech tip, juicy tidbit. All right, last connection is getting this ground. Make sure you feed this right. Getting this ground on here. So what I found was stainless steel, 1/4 20, with the nylon insert, so it locks in. It won't back out. You know, when the motor's on during vibration, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a spacer. I'm gonna go ahead and put a washer on it with that. You know what? I really need a bigger washer if I can find one. Don't know if I have one. Doesn't fit. Beautiful. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. Big old fat fingers. Getting in there. Okay. All right, that's gonna make a good mating surface. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Let me go cinch that down, and that's gonna be it. I'm just gonna tuck all these in nice and neatly, and that's gonna wrap it up. All right, let's go and snug that down. Looks like this takes 11 millimeter. All right, that is good and tight. So that's what that looks like right there. Right here. All right, that'll do it. That's a wrap, Jack. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content. Got a bunch of ideas coming up, a lot of things I'm working on. So hope you guys stick around. That's about it. To the next one.